What up, everybody? How's it going, Investor Thrive Nation? We got my boy Jordan Wayburn on the hot seat.
I'm back, guys.
Well, it's not technically the hot seat. He's helping me co-host, and we got my man Ammon Orchard in the hot seat.
Ammon Orchard, welcome.
Welcome, brother. So, real quick, Corey Royston is not here this time, so I brought on again our guest from before, Jordan Wayburn, fam.
It's good to be here.
We brought him on because, I could have just interviewed, him, but I said, hey, let's bring on another guy who has been on here before, who's got the experience, and people love him. That video that you shot, thousands of views.
Hey, I'm happy to be here.
Might have been like 20, but it'll be 1,000 one day.
I only wanted at least one to watch it, so as long as we got 20.
One, it only takes one.
It only takes one. Thanks so much, Investor Thrive.
So, Investor Thrive Nation, just welcome, subscribe, like, hit the bell icon. This, this is Investor Thrive Studio. If you guys haven't tuned in before, Investor Thrive is a company that is dedicated to helping real estate and professionals succeed not only in their businesses but in their personal lives. So this podcast is basically geared to people who want to succeed in real estate, but it's also geared to people that want to grow in their business. So that's why we brought our guy Ammon on. He has his own business and he wants to thrive in real estate. Is that right, Ammon?
Trying to thrive. Yep.
Yeah, you're going to thrive. I believe in you, dude. So Jordan, me and Ammon, how did we all meet? Do you want to kind of give that intro?
Well, yeah, so we kind of talked about how we met, which was through our LDS missions, Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. We started a mission in Portland, Oregon, and then Ammon also served up there with us in Portland, Oregon.
Yeah. Where are you originally from, by the way? Are you from Utah?
I'm from American Fork.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah. So we all were called on a mission to serve in Portland, Oregon, okay? And that's how we all met. So if people don't know what a mission is where for 2 years you get called to go to a specific area to preach the gospel of Jesus Christ. And for 2 years, you put away your phone. You don't watch TV.
You don't go on dates.
You don't talk to girls.
Look at girls.
Can't even hug a girl.
You can't even think about it.
You can't really even hug a girl.
You really can't.
And the thing is,
you literally can't.
I learned a lot of things about my mission, but I also was able to have lifelong friends because I feel like there's a lot of friends I was buddies with all through high school and but I feel like my mission I was
we're all buddies for the mission.
That's what I'm saying. It's just you become lifelong friends and you learn qualities, you learn traits, and you have funny stories.
Exactly.
We keep in touch because we're all entrepreneurs, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
And we're all buddies. So that's where we met. For those that didn't know what a mission is, you just go for 2 years and you talk about Jesus the whole time. It's pretty tough. Now it's over. It's like, okay, that was tough, but I don't think about it like it was that hard thing. I think of it as a good thing, Oh, yeah. And it skyrocketed us to manhood, I would say, right? Like to being serious about life, right? So anyway, that's where we met.
Yep.
And let's kind of get into I guess a little intro, a little bio.
Tell us about your
you.
business.
Yeah.
Well, first, hit us with the bio. Tell us about a little bit about yourself.
Born in Denver, Colorado. Came to American Fork when I was 3. Lived there until my mission. So
in Denver, you said?
Oh, I moved to American Fork when I was 3.
Okay.
And then stayed there till the mission. So we back then we would leave when we were 19. Now you can leave when you're 18. But
which I think is young, by the way, but
yeah, 18 super young.
That's if I went out when I was 18,
I don't know if I would have been able to handle it 18. 19's seemed like the sweet spot for me, but
hey. 19 was good for me. We have a technician right now, 22, just putting his papers in.
Oh, he's going out when he's 22?
Good
for him.
Yeah.
He's going.
Might not be able to go till he's 23 is what he was just saying.
Really?
But yeah, he's the man.
Good for him.
But yeah, went on the mission. Jordan and I were companions, so when you're on a mission, you're literally stuck in the same room. You have to be in the same room.
Unless you're going to poop.
Well, no.
Take a shower.
You don't have to be in the same room. You just have to be in the same apartment.
Same apartment.
You have to be in the vicinity of that person.
Yeah, so
if you hate
you're
each
literally
other,
just with one person, so that's how a companionship works. But Jordan and I were companions for was it like 5 months?
Combined. We were companions twice.
Yeah. So first time 3 months, and then one.
And then for
6
one
weeks.
transfer.
Yeah.
Before we went
You guys
It's
are
almost
lucky
5.
that you got to be together, man.
We thought it was too good to be true when we got.
It can be tough. Some companions.
We had too much fun. We worked hard, but we had fun.
But anyways, went on a mission. Met Jordan. He changed my life.
Really?
made
You joking or?
Well, kind of. The mission changed my life.
Okay.
Jordan helped for sure.
Okay, good.
Ammon Orchard changed my mission.
I thought we were about to get sentimental over here.
Dude, no, we changed each other, didn't we?
Let's not get weird. They don't know, know what could have happened in that apartment of yours.
Oh my gosh!
Literally, though, the mission changed my life because before my mission, I had really low self-esteem. One thing that I thought about a lot, we might get deeper into it.
Yeah, let's go, dude.
That I wouldn't be very successful in life because I did okay in school, but in my mind, I was like, I have zero skills that transfer to anything in life.
Dang, you felt like that.
That's how I felt.
Wow.
Yeah, I wasn't like depressed or anything, but I was like, because I did well in school until it came to math, and I failed probably every math test from 7th till 12th grade.
Dang, how'd you graduate then?
Well, I'd get C's, I get A's and B's and everything, and then like C's in math because they count the like homework towards your grade.
Yeah. Good thing you did the homework.
Yeah, I did the homework, and then I failed everything else. Then I went on my mission, realized I wasn't dumb. I was just super lazy.
Yeah, wow.
So then came home and actually did well in school and ended up not using school at all in my life. So
we talked about that last time. Like
most of us don't. You know, most entrepreneurs don't go to school to
don't
become an entrepreneur. Yeah, use their degree.
Yeah, I majored in I went into public health, and I was planning on going into
BPA,
becoming a physician assistant. Yeah,
cool.
I remember your life story.
But yeah, then decided to call an audible and start cleaning some windows.
Dang, dude.
Yeah.
You know what's really interesting about your business? Now we're gonna dive into it, cleaning windows. Just thinking that, I'm like, is there even a market for that? Like, I thought that, like, but that's why we have you on here, because you think I don't know anything about cleaning windows. No. I know if you came to my house, you're like, yo, dude, I'll clean your window. I'll be like, get the heck out of here, man. I'll clean my own window. No, no offense, but my windows, I don't have a big house. I don't have a lot of, I got like maybe 5 windows in my whole house, you know?
Bottom and top. You got a basement? You got windows in your basement?
Yeah, but those are the basement level, right?
But how often do you clean those?
0. Maybe I'd have you clean the basement ones.
So when you go clean a house, is that included within it? Like, tell us about your business model. Tell us how like prices work and
we
all
can
the above.
customize it. But yeah, I kind of grew up the same way. Like, I didn't know window cleaners. I knew window cleaners were a thing with like high rise.
Yeah, that would make sense, yeah.
Which is a little riskier.
Yeah, un poco. But yeah, we...
By the way, we start Spanish speaking, so we all speak Spanish.
We all speak Spanish. We could just transition to Spanish.
We could. It would be a little
brutal.
Brutal, but we could do it. We could do it. But anyway, yeah.
Yeah, so I grew up pretty middle class, and we weren't poor by any means, but I had no idea that people had businesses like doing residential window cleaning or Christmas lights, gutter cleaning, all the stuff that we do. So anyways, just to like tie it back to that, but so what we do, well, first off, how I got into it is college, had a bunch of loans to be able to go to college, and then like getting the car, all that stuff, and I wanted to be a PA, so you have to get a job with getting patient contact hours. So I was working at a physical therapy office, making like $9 an hour, or no, I think it was $8.50 an hour. Something like 15, 20 hours a week.
It's brutal.
Yeah, so there's no way that you can pay for your housing, for student loans, all that stuff. And so a buddy introduced me to window cleaning. We started doing it together, and then eventually kind of went our separate ways.
Does he still clean windows?
Oh, actually, I think he does on the side still.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think he does. But yeah, we kind of went our separate ways. I thought I had just thought I had it in the bag for PA school.
Okay.
But as a sophomore, I got fired from my physical therapy job.
Why?
And I'm actually not sure. I think
no reason?
He told me I could apply again.
You're fired. You can apply again, but you're fired.
Now get out.
It's basically saying, like, we don't want you here, but we're trying to make you feel bad. You can apply again.
Is that what happened?
I think I was the newest one on staff, and they hired too many people.
Okay.
And so he's like, hey, like, we can't keep you on, but you can apply in January if you want to. So anyways, I went home and was just had no idea what I was going to do. And cause I relied on that for my income, and then window cleaning was just something to kind of supplement everything. And then on top of that, it was, I think it was September.
Mm-hmm.
And in my mind, you couldn't clean windows past August.
Why is that in your mind?
I thought it was just a summer thing.
Okay.
That's the only, I'd only heard of people doing it in the summer. And that's when I would do it to make money to save up for school. So anyways, I got fired. I was like, crap, I got to do something.
Right.
So I was like, if I can make $200 a week, then I can survive. Or no, it was, I had to make $35 3 times a week. And so I decided that at that mark,
you were living cheap then. Huh?
That's
pretty.
I was living super cheap.
Yeah.
But yeah, I decided if I could do that, then I would make it through.
Mm-hmm.
And so I just went out and was like, hey, I'm just going to go knock doors in retirement communities, charge like $35 a home, which now it's just ridiculous.
It's like far-fetched.
Dude, I could just imagine.
We'd lose like tons of money.
Of course, yeah.
If we did that now. But I was like, so I started selling them. I started doing like 2 or 3, sometimes 4 a day. I was like, dude, I'm making like $120 a day sometimes.
You're freaking crushing it.
Thought I was on top of the world. But
what was your pitch when you knocked doors? You're like, hey.
Yeah, give us a pitch.
Yeah, give us your pitch.
Hey, Mrs. Johnson, I'm Ammon Orchard. What would I say? I'd knock on the door, say like, hey, super sorry to bother you. My name's Ammon. I just cleaned windows for the Johnsons next door.
Great pitch.
Do you know the Johnsons?
Yeah, I know the Johnsons.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, yeah, so I just cleaned windows for Penny, and you could ask her if we did a good job. I'm just doing it for super cheap. All the units are the same here, so I'm just doing it $35 each. Have you had your windows cleaned recently?
Yeah.
Dang it.
Just clean them.
But come on in and clean them. I'd love for you to come in. You look like a nice boy.
Maybe I'd ask when it was cleaned last, but
That's okay. That's perfect. So you're not knocking on the door and saying, "Hey, look, I've noticed your windows are pretty dang dirty."
No, you're using the neighbor method, which is great.
Yeah, we use that all the time when we were selling Dish Network door to door.
time,
Hey,
yeah.
you know Susie? She had DirecTV.
I'd pull it out even if someone rejected me. I'd be like, hey, what's your name real quick? Larry? Cool. Like, hey, you know Larry next door?
Larry's a great guy. He told me to come over here.
Larry told me to come over here. He has Dish, and he loves it.
Yeah, dude, that's good. Okay, so you would go and you started making some good money.
yeah.
Now, quick
in
question.
my mind, good money.
Yeah, so
but
quick question. When you clean a window, is it in? Do you go inside the house and clean it and on the outside, or is it
Yeah,
just
we
outside?
we do both. So interior, exterior screens. We do like a rain guard
You
treatment.
take
on
off
the outside.
you take off the screens,
Yeah.
Oh my
and you spray them,
God.
or what?
Clean them. Yeah.
You
How
clean
do
the
you clean them
screens?
with a
We even clean the
sponge?
screens. So the way that we do it is with actually Armor All. So we actually
I didn't know
do
they
like
did
a
the
really
screens.
premium.
You
I've-
power wash?
We well, not as much anymore. We started pushing it a few years ago. Didn't get
Yeah.
a lot of traction.
That's
I
crazy.
tried to take off the screen on the house that we bought once, and it was a friggin' hassle.
Yeah.
so-
How many of those do you break? Like, how often do you
Those
guys
are 4.
break them?
It's pretty easy to break them.
Yeah.
Sometimes if they've been there forever, they're super brittle.
Oh,
Yeah.
You
dude.
just pull them off and they'll
My parents
snap.
had theirs like cleaned by some random guy in their neighborhood.
broke them.
I told them to call you. They didn't. Like some random kids are like, "Hey, come clean our windows," and he did it for like $20 or all their windows. But he broke their screen when they put it in,
course
so
he
they had to
did.
get a new one.
That's why you want a premium company to.
So what happens if you
do
break a
windows.
screen though?
We usually fix it for them. Well,
Like,
good
hey,
for
you will go to this company that makes them, or you'll get the
Yeah.
sizes and like get it fixed.
yeah. Now this year we're probably going to start doing them ourselves because the company. There's not real. We haven't found a good company to fix screens.
Yeah, just
They'll-
make
They'll take like
business.
a month and a half.
So sorry to
Great.
Get back to
deviate
us.
from that, but yeah. So you started going knocking on
Oh, yeah.
doors and
Yeah, so eventually I was making, I think I got up to like $170 a day when I was in college. And so I was like, dude, I'm set.
and you were doing it yourself at this
All
point.
by myself,
Okay.
yeah. Yeah, so then.
How
I
many
was-
would you say you could do a day?
So busting my butt, I could do, I don't know, like 5-ish, probably 6.
Cool.
I'd say probably 6. And then like you could upsell the interior, stuff like that. I was selling the interior for like $15.
Nice.
I thought that was a great price.
Now these units that you were charging 35, were they multi-level, one level?
So they're like kind of your classic retirement duplex, like 55 plus community
Okay.
duplexes. So they're probably like 2,500 square feet, something like that.
Oh wow. I was thinking they'd be smaller than that, but that's
No, that's how cheap I was doing it.
yeah. Okay, so yeah.
So when did you hit the point where you're like, I could make a business out of this?
Well, so that's when it kind of started crossing my mind. I think I was 23, at that point. I was probably 23, maybe 24, probably 23. When you go, so people that have served a mission, you're kind of delayed 2 years.
Yeah.
And so I was an old sophomore. But yeah, so 23. Later that year, probably in November, I got another job at a different physical therapy clinic because I was still kind of set on going to grad school.
Right.
Then eventually, like I just kept on cleaning windows on the side pretty much every day from like that point when I was 23 till I was 26 when I actually started the business. It was just in the back of my mind, I should actually make a business out of this. Like I could do decently well. Then 2016, when I was 26, I was shadowing people, realized that it wasn't the best. I don't know. I just wasn't as interested
in the
PA world.
PA.
Yeah.
So question: how much money did you drop on pursuing that until you stopped?
So I think it was about 16 grand. Because once I was 24, I got grants, and so
That's not bad.
So that's not bad. In
My
my
you
mind,
would
I
have
was
been in
like,
the hole
oh,
like 100 or 200,000.
no. So if I did go to PA school, they tell you to expect about 100K in debt on average.
Okay. So you didn't even go that far.
No, I didn't.
You're
No.
like,
Yeah. So
no.
my senior year, I met these people that had a Christmas lights business up here in West Jordan, and they kind of introduced me to that. Told me how their business model was and kind of how it went for them over the years. And they're like, if you wanted to get into it, be serious, we're happy to give you like 20K worth of clients. And so I was like,
No way.
yeah. And so
For
I,
Christmas
Just
lights?
give you that.
of Christmas lights.
Why would they just give you 20K?
Oh, well, so I had to do a bunch of like take the lights down for free for them. Also, the guy fell off of a ladder and broke his back
Oh my.
at that same time.
So that's the risk you run.
yeah. Well, I'm not out there anymore,
Okay.
but
Thank goodness.
yeah.
Why is that guy out
now
there?
it's like 6 times the risk because we have 6 technicians
Oh
down.
gosh.
But it was kind of scary.
6
Oh,
backs
probably
that can
more
break.
scarier.
Yeah, man.
So
You
far,
got
it's zero.
insurance.
Zero backs broken in 6 years. though,
The insurance guy over here, can you cover his business?
I do.
He does cover my
I
business.
do cover his business, but we don't cover his workers' comp, which would constitute if one of his guys broke their back.
Oh my gosh!
We
Did
don't
you hear
cover
that, Investor Dive Nation? Look at these guys. This, networking. he's got my insurance. He's got his insurance. I'm gonna get him a rental. This is great.
This is great.
Yeah. So 2016, I officially started.
And what's the name of your
after I-
business?
Happy Valley Exteriors.
Happy
That's
Valley
a good
Exteriors.
name. How long did it take you to decide on that? I know you probably were thinking about multiple names.
It was something else
And,
before.
I think it was like probably a month
You're like
when I decided to change it. Yeah.
you're like
'Cause
Happy
it was
Valley
like-
Windows, and then you're like, I'm
what
gonna
was
do
it
Happy
before? I
Valley
think it was like
Exteriors.
Sunrise Windows. Yeah,
Was
and then
it?
it was.
That's a good thing to
Happy
do
Valley Windows.
exteriors because then it's like
Because he does
Yeah,
everything on
they'll-
the exterior, right? You do the gutters, you do the Christmas lights, and then obviously windows, right?
nice,
Yeah.
dude.
And so how did you from there? What was your next step from like, hey, I'm growing this, I'm actually gonna make a business? Then was it like I gotta hire people, or was it like I gotta like what was your plan? Because you never had a business.
Yeah.
I never had a business. So at that point, you didn't have anyone really taking your wing, except just people that were like, hey, we're gonna give you
Unless
all these
maybe
clients, right?
unless maybe they told him how to run it. Yeah. What happened?
Yeah, so I knew that I didn't want to be the owner operator. Like I saw the people that taught me how to do the Christmas lights. They're just your ultimate owner operators. They have an awesome life too. They're making 6 figures in like 2.5 months, and the rest of the year
They're making
chilling.
6 figures in 2.5 months.
Yeah, just from Christmas lights.
And that's all they did was strictly Christmas lights, or
Yeah, and it's just I think it was the 2 of them, and then they sometimes hire like a part-time guy. Now their kids are old enough to help them out.
That's honestly tight.
So, but you knew
Yeah,
you
it's
weren't. You
pretty
didn't want to
cool.
be the one like hustling. You're like, hey, I want to run this.
Yeah, so I took a step back, looked at them, and was like, man, they don't do any advertising, anything.
And he
It
just
took them
broke
a-
his back.
Yeah, and he just broke his back, and then now they're like upper 30s, and so
Upper 30 years old.
upper 30s. So like I think they're around like 39ish.
Oh, when you
Coming in
told
their
me about
40s.
this, I was imagining like a 60-year-old dude on a ladder. Just
I'm imagining like an
I
older
hope they
couple like
figure
climbing up
something
the
out.
ladder. Like so
But
they were
these
like they're
are-
pretty
this
young.
is a younger couple then.
Yeah, they're younger.
Oh wow.
Okay.
dude.
Yeah,
2 months out of the year, making 100K to put up some Christmas lights.
yeah.
Dang. It's honestly kind of sad the world we live in that like people just pay to put their lights. For me, I'm like, all right, I don't want to pay.
You
for
don't even
Christmas
put lights up.
I don't even put lights
I
up,
know you
dude.
don't. You don't have kids, but once
Yeah.
you have kids, you will.
Okay, that probably makes sense. Yeah.
We'll put your lights up. For
Yeah,
you.
dude, you probably will. Yeah, yeah. 'Cause it's expensive. My wife is a hygienist, and her
Oh,
dentist said that he got a bid on one tree, and it was like $500 or $1,000 to wrap a tree with lights. So it's like
500 would be cheap too.
People are paying big bucks to wrap lights around crap.
Don't get into the industry though, guys. You won't like it.
Don't do it. You heard it here first.
Not here in Utah. We don't want more competition for a guy. But anyway,
the crazy thing though. Excuse me.
You're right there.
You okay?
Yeah, I'm good.
Got the Abercrombie.
Yeah, got the Abercrombie on me.
Omicron.
Yeah, the crazy thing though is outside of Utah, you can charge almost double what people charge here.
Why?
Utah's cheap.
Yeah, Utah. There's a lot of competition, and people are cheap.
Have you ever thought of expanding, franchising?
No, maybe.
Is it pretty late? It's pretty heavy, like
competitive,
manager intensive, right? Do you feel like you gotta it would be hard to franchise that out and grow it, or?
I don't. There are big franchises that exist.
Okay.
Well, I don't know if they're big, but they're nationwide.
Yeah, like the one that does my business, right? Because I was gonna have you do my business. You're like, hey, it wouldn't really be worth it for us. Hit up these people.
Yeah.
Right. And so they clean mine for $15 every week, which is cheap inside
You
out.
have your windows cleaned weekly?
The exterior, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Of course.
Because if you didn't we're a business.
Am I missing? Oh, your business, not your house.
Okay. I've never had my windows cleaned in my house.
Yeah. So
the thing is,
what are you mostly cleaning? Houses or
we mainly do
businesses?
residential.
That's so interesting. For me, I'm like, hey, honey, we need to clean these dang windows.
But the thing is, the summertime, it's a great, because most of the time you're finding your clientele by referral or by advertising, right?
But then again, the houses that you're cleaning, I'm sure they're not where I live, a pretty average neighborhood.
You're cleaning upper.
Sometimes they are, but usually upper middle class.
I could understand it,
4,000 to 7,000.
Yeah, because the bigger homes they have giant windows, and I'm sure it's looks whack if.
If you go out there with a pole and try to do it.
Well, yeah, and they're trying to. And people are trying to that have money are we need these cleaned.
Yeah, we're trying to look good out here.
So, how did you go from, making $600 a week maybe, to saying, hey, I'm gonna start this business. I'm gonna have Valley Exteriors. To how big is your business now? Tell us about that journey. And how you got from where you're at now, which is pretty good sized fleet, and you're obviously running it, right? You don't go out and install and do that. So tell us how that worked. Wow.
Careful with that.
Tell us how that happened. I got excited.
So it started off just me. First year I hired my buddy, Casey, was my first employee, and we were just kind of going at it.
How much did you pay him hourly? Or
I was paying him
by job.
I was paying him $12 an hour.
Okay.
Back then, so that was that was 2016, I think, when we were doing that. So we started doing that, and then year after that, I was like, okay, I need to go more hands off, and so I hired 2 guys, I think. So kind of.
So 3 people at now, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, so the typical stages of progression are you're the man in the field, then you hire technicians, then you start working in the office doing admin, sales, all that stuff, overseeing the production side, the operations side. Mm-hmm. Then you hire an office manager, and then start going to sales, and then from there you kind of try and take more of a management point of view, and then try to hire management and whatnot.
Yeah. So how many? Would you say one technician? How many windows can he handle a day, or how many jobs could he handle a day?
Usually, depending on the size, 2 or 3. So 2 decently big ones, 3 smaller ones. Sometimes 4, smaller. I'd say 4 exterior 2,500 square foot.
And you're paying these technicians obviously hourly, right?
Commission.
Commission now?
Yeah. So we pay them 20% per job, and then give a 3% bonus if they're basically doing all the stuff they're supposed to, showing up on time.
And how do you estimate how much a job is? Let's say a 4,000 square foot house that has 15 windows.
Yeah, so usually we go off of the pane count, so off of window pane, so each individual division in the glass. So usually $5 per.
It sounds high tech when it says pane count. I'm like, oh shit.
Yeah, this is serious, bro.
Yeah.
So tell us, let's say I have 4 window panes in the front of my house. Let's just, for example, how much is that per pane?
So it'd be $200. We have a $200 minimum.
$200 minimum, dude. He ain't even fluffing around with that $25 stuff
we
anymore.
don't mess around.
So 4 panes is technically less than the minimum.
So 4 panes would probably be just 2 windows.
Okay, yeah, that's 2 windows.
Yeah, so it'd be like $16 off of that.
So if you have a $200
Or
minimum and you
$20.
don't have that many windows, you're like, hey, look, that's going to be less than our minimum, but we're going to charge you $200, no matter what.
You can tighten it somehow.
Yeah, it's just being kind of funky here. It's just because Ammon's here, dude. It's just,
dude.
So
$200 minimum. But sometimes, do a lot of people, are they below the minimum with the amount of windows they have?
Yeah, a lot of them are.
So you're like, hey, for it to be worth it to go out there, we need $200.
Yeah, so in that case, like, because we'll have a lot of people hit us up. They've got like 20 window panes. That'd be $100. So we'll tell them like, look, we can do that. We can do all your interior windows and then clean a couple screens for you as well. And then surprisingly, like most people don't turn us down.
Let me ask you a question. So they get 20%, the technician.
So if it's $200 job, they're getting $40 or what? Like
Yeah.
And how long does
46
that
is,
usually
3%.
take them to do 20 windows?
What would that be? I think usually about 2 hours.
So they're getting $20 an hour?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so we try to have it average out to be around that. We have some guys who just, one guy's been with us for over a year, and he was averaging over 30 an hour, college kid.
Cool.
So tell us about your fleet right now. How many trucks you have, and how many like technicians you have? Like what's your office look like? Your staffing situation?
Yeah, so 4 trucks right now.
4 trucks.
So
dude.
these are trucks that you've purchased for the business, or
Yeah.
Oh wow, so you own 4 trucks.
And 4 trucks.
Dang.
So this is from 2016 to present day.
Are these? What are these trucks? These trucks are expensive.
I insure them, dude. They're nice. He's got some good quality.
Nice trucks.
Yeah.
What kind of trucks are they?
Decent. So 2 older Ford Rangers, and then one's a Ram ProMaster City, and one's a Ford Transit Connect. So
what was the
cargo
point?
vans.
What's the point of the truck? Is it all the cleaning materials in the back? Like, why does it
Ladders,
have to be a truck?
right? Ladders.
Ladders, cleaning materials, all that stuff.
So what's that investment look like on 4 trucks?
It's actually not crazy. So the ones that we have, I bought the Ranger $6K in cash, the other Ranger $7K in cash.
Back when cars weren't as crazy.
Yeah, back when you could do that, like 3 years ago. And then the ProMaster City, I want to say it was 14 grand. So that one was 14 grand, and then the Transit Connect, that was
that was a brand new van.
no, that one was like 16 grand, I think. Normally it would have been 12 grand, and it was right after the pandemic.
It's like, bam.
So it was 16.
So are these guys staying busy 8 hours a day, or is it like
Yeah.
less than that?
Yeah, so like we're really seasonal. So right now I talked to 3 of our guys, told them that we'd have to have them go part-time. So we did have 6 technicians. I talked to one that was part-time. He just wanted to work for us for the Christmas light season.
Cool.
So he's no longer with us. And
Rest in peace.
he's still living. But
He's no longer with us. And so Christmas lights, it sounds more like lucrative, right, for these guys? They're making more Christmas lights.
Yeah.
Because you're charging
They
more
are.
for house. What's your minimum on Christmas lights?
our minimum, like $350 probably. So
It's insane. Just some cash.
So
and
the
what you're
window
doing.
cleaning, how are the repeating customers? Is it like once a month, once every 6 months? Like, what does that look like?
we have some monthly customers. Residential, usually it's harder to get it to be like a recurring service.
It's fluent, yeah.
But most people it's 1 to 2 times a year, but we've got a lot of quarterly and just
You give them a
handful of
discount
monthly.
if they go quarterly or
Yeah.
monthly or whatever.
Mhm.
That's awesome, man.
So who does all your admin and it's like sell stuff? If you have your guys out in the office, do you have an office person, or are you answering calls? How does that work?
Yep. Yeah. So we've got an office manager. Sabrina's killing it for us.
Who's that?
Sabrina.
Oh, your wife?
She's our office manager.
Oh.
So we just hired.
Is your
her.
wife working with you too, or
No,
Okay.
she's in nursing school, and so
Sabrina?
she.
Where'd you find Sabrina?
She was, so it's kind of a funny story. We had one of our technicians' wives working for us for a while,
Mm-hmm.
part-time, and then we needed a full-time person. So back in August, we actually hired a lady. And, she killed it in the interview.
She did really.
Yeah,
I've had
she
a
was
couple of
great.
those, dude.
she was like, I think she's like in her mid-50s, something like that. So I was like, this will be awesome.
She was saucing you up, gave
You're
you
like,
everything
man,
you
this
want.
is like-
she knew.
Yeah,
she
she
knew how
knew
to talk to us.
Professional interviewer.
References checked out. It's her uncle and like her like brother. She's solid. Trust me.
Yeah, she seemed awesome. But then just like some weird stuff was going on. Like she would talk to customers. They wanted the schedule. She'd be like, awesome, I've got you on the schedule.
She wouldn't do it.
Just wouldn't schedule them. It's like, you're doing all the hard stuff. Just like,
I got you ready
Put 'em
on
on
the
the calendar.
schedule.
Yep,
I'm just writing
she's
it
like
down.
working on Facebook. I got you on a schedule. Sounds good. So you're scrolling.
So you let her go.
yeah, it's lots of weird stuff like that. So I had to let her go. And then
Found Sabrina.
found Sabrina. Yeah, so Sabrina interviewed at the same time. It was between her and this lady. So we let this lady go like a month later, and then called up Sabrina and was like, hey, are you still looking for a job? She was. Hired her up. And she's been doing great. It's been
Sweet. So let's Hector, how much time we got left? It's already at 30. So I just want to break down like quickly
okay.
the business itself, and like if anyone from Investor Thrive Nation would be interested in going into this. So you can go to someone's house, knock on the door, and say, hey, I'll take care of this whole house for about $200. I'll clean the windows, minimum.
Mm-hmm.
And how much is it per pane?
$5.
$5 per pane. So really, charging them per pane is not the way to go. It's doing the 200 minimum, right?
Yeah. So we charge per pane, then with the $200 minimum.
Okay.
So
If it goes above,
so if it's below like 40 panes, then it's going to be at least 200.
Okay. So below 40 panes, anything above it's 200 minimum. Anything above is $5.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's a lot of windows, man. Is there a lot of houses that have more than like 40 panes?
Well, yeah,
I'd
if
say
you're
the
looking at
majority of
upper middle class, like
How many windows do you need? Dang.
you need some daylight.
Well,
dog.
that does make sense. If you have 40 panes, you need to clean those suckers.
yeah. Especially if they're like big custom houses or whatever. Right?
So for Investor Thrive Nation, anyone wants to do a side hustle, I think side hustles are great. So I go if I want to start this today, for example, I go knock on someone's door, say, hey, I can clean all the windows, interior, exterior, for $200. Just a flat rate.
so they'd be like, no.
Well, why would they say no? That's what he does. He does a 200
Yeah, but
flat
he's
rate.
got a methodology with it. He's got a way to do it. He's got a website. He's got branding. He's got all the other.
So you don't
bells and
think just
whistles.
knocking on a door and going to
and charging $200?
I mean, that's how I started out.
It'd work.
So like it
well,
can
yeah,
work,
but you weren't charging that off the bat when you were knocking doors.
No.
But he was
No,
way
so,
too.
like, if
He was
you're-
way too low.
If you come
though.
at it and you're like, yeah, I don't have insurance, I'm not a licensed business, it's just me, then people are probably going to be a little bit more hesitant.
Okay. But so anyway, so $200, just putting it out there, and then you could hire someone and pay them 20% to do that. That's just to make it very simple. That's kind of what it's like.
Yeah.
I'm just kind of laying it out in case any of
Simplistic.
these
Yeah.
Investor Thrive Nation watchers are like, hey, you know what? I need some freaking money
Yeah,
like
just
Ammon
don't do
did.
it here in Utah.
Yeah, because the thing with wholesaling and real estate investing, like you can do it, anyone can go and do it, but what you're saying, like I feel like I could go out there tomorrow and knock on a door and clean someone's window for like $50.
No.
You don't think so, dude? I mean, you said you did it.
No, yeah, you could.
But no,
You shouldn't, but-
to run a business like you said, obviously that takes.
That's a different animal.
That's a different.
Like-
just like running an insurance business or a wholesaling business. Like,
Well,
if you want
goes-
to do a one-off, like wholesale house, yeah, that's different than running a wholesaling business.
Well, because we haven't even really talked about we obviously know how big Ammon's team is and what he's come from, right? But we haven't even talked about like revenues, right? Like what are you grossing every year? Like what are your?
I am curious about that. Yeah.
What do you like?
Do you
what,
feel
yeah,
comfortable
what did you
saying that?
gross in this year's almost done? So has this year been your best year?
Yeah,
You-
this has been our best.
So
year.
you grow every year. Has there ever been a year where you haven't made any money or more
No.
money?
So we've grown by at least 50% every year.
50.
And
Wow,
Don't stop, dude.
dude, that is insane growth. 50% every year.
yeah, I was trying to double, so but yeah.
Wow.
So let's talk about if you're okay letting Investor Thrive and us know what did you make this year? Like what did your
What
business?
is your business gross?
Yeah. So does the IRS listen to
I don't. No, they don't.
Yeah, so we should end at around 630 gross.
Cool. I was thinking you were about to say like 10 million or something.
Yeah, I thought you were about to pull out a mill. You're like, yeah, we gross around 1.3.
I'm at 630 million.
630.
Snap.
So 630.
630K.
And how profitable would you say your business is? Is it like 30% after paying like everybody off, like the technicians?
Your revenue.
Yeah. So we're at about 35%.
That's great. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome.
That's phenomenal. And you went from making $650 a week to $650,
like $120 a week.
Oh my gosh! Look at you, man. So one question that Nate and Corey asked me, and I'm curious to know because we talk a lot. Because obviously being in the entrepreneur field, it's always interesting to hear how people are doing and pros. Like we vent to each other all the time about staffing, about hiring people, because we have a very similar thing with that. But what has motivated you to keep capitalizing on this opportunity to clean windows, to have a business? Like what gets you by every day? What's your fuel?
We're going deep. I'd say just making dirty windows clean. Not really. I think that
that's what motivates you.
Yeah, my why is kind of evolved and over time. Like at first, I think so. When I lived down in Provo, like you guys know.
Yeah.
Where BYU is, but I was going to the open enrollment school next to it.
Which one was that?
UVU.
UVU. Okay.
Yeah. But. Yeah, so
I thought you were about to say LDS Business College.
Oh, I wish I could have gotten in there.
Yeah.
University of Phoenix. Online.
But yeah, I when I think back, I think my why was just to prove people wrong. Because I'd get like all the BYU kids asking like, wait, so you're gonna do what like 12-year-olds do when they want to pay for something?
They would say that to you?
Yeah, someone said that to me.
Oh God,
yeah,
who's that squeege? I bet he's not doing anything.
I don't know. Someone at the library there.
I forget that guy.
but
he's probably in the library still.
Yeah, nerd. But yeah, so people would say stuff like that to me all the time. Like,
I'm sure there's a lot of doubters.
That's your why.
Girls
is to
wouldn't
prove
want to
people
go
wrong,
doubts.
huh?
That was my why.
That's a good fuel though. That's a good fuel to fire.
You
Yeah,
said,
like back in the
you
day.
said girls wouldn't want to go out with you because you're the window cleaner?
No, like I'd be having conversations with girls and they'd be like, "Yeah, so what do you do for a living?" It's like, "Oh, I have a window cleaning business." Then they do the
check for the door.
Around, like,
they check for the door to see the
if
closest
there's a friend
exit.
see, like, oh, there's my friend Mikkel. Can I go talk to her?
Forget that, man. Gold diggers.
But yeah, it is all the time.
Oh gosh.
I think it's more of a thing in like Provo than elsewhere.
I think people don't understand the business.
Yeah, they didn't understand. My wife actually was like that too. She's like, "Why don't you go back to graduate school?" And then I was terrible at communicating too. So like I broke down for like kind of my plans, what I was hoping to do. But yeah, so I think that at first that's what it was, and then financial freedom, and just recently I've been thinking like if the business is completely automated, giving us like $1 million a year, I'm still gonna want to do stuff. Like,
of course, dude.
So I think it is kind of like turning into more of like a personal progress kind of thing.
That's how it is, yeah.
And so same with investing in real estate. Like that's a big part. Like if I have $100 million in real estate, I just want to continue to go and
just a machine.
progress.
Yeah, so Investor Thrive Nation, you're probably wondering why we brought a window cleaning mastermind businessman to this podcast. So he's reached out to me in his interest in investing in real estate. So this is usually the formula, someone is successful in a business or makes good money at a job, and they're like, where do I need to put my money? Where should I put my money, right?
Yeah.
So that's kind of where you're at. Where do I put my money, and where can I make more money? Where can I make some money from my investments? Is that kind of what's going on?
Yeah, exactly. So I reached out to Nate because he's a wholesaler extraordinaire.
Trying.
And, we want to learn more about the Burr method. Again, just kind of thinking big.
Yeah.
That's one thing that we're considering doing. Probably not in the super near future.
So
but maybe.
And right now you have one rental, correct?
Yeah, we own a rental in Orem. And then our house we have a townhome in Lehigh. That's going to be a rental here pretty soon.
You have a townhome, and what is it? Do you live there?
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah,
but you're moving out.
Yeah, when we move out, we're going to rent that out.
So what are you renting your current rental out for?
So that one is currently at $1,800.
$1,800? Mm-hmm. And is it a single family home?
Single family home.
Okay.
Yep.
And what did you buy it for? Just curious.
So I bought it for $232.
And you're renting it out for $18? You're cash flowing. Wow.
Yeah, so it's cash flowing. Yeah, and so when I first bought it,
your mortgage is probably like $1,000?
$1,200.
Yeah. Look, $600.
Yeah.
Do you have a property management or do you manage it yourself?
We manage it ourselves.
Yeah.
Yeah. We think
Awesome.
until like 4 units. We'll just
Awesome.
do that.
I have a rental in South Salt Lake. I also rent out my basement. It covers my mortgage.
Nice.
And a little bit more. So it's like I have no mortgage. It's great. Rentals are great. So Investor Thrive Nation, that's why I brought our guy on, just because I'm very interested in your business, right? Because at the beginning of the podcast, we talked about like window cleaning business. We all think like, are people really needing their windows
no one
cleaned?
understands
But through
what
this,
you have.
yeah, but through this podcast, my man made what, 630 in this business? Is that what you said?
Growing
630,000
50% year over year. That's awesome growth.
next
dude.
year, 50%. What are you gonna be? 1.2?
Yeah.
Golly.
That's what we're aiming for. Yeah.
That's
insane.
amazing, dude. So,
Exactly 1.2. Yeah.
congratulations, Investor Thrive. I bet you've inspired many people on this podcast to go and clean some windows, dude. Because
You're welcome, Investor Thrive.
yeah, and don't worry, a lot of them probably aren't local, so they won't be too many.
Yeah, just
Don't
don't do
be
it in
dabbling
Utah.
in the market. Wherever you're at, you're probably gonna make more per panel
But-
than here per paint.
per paint. And the thing that's amazing about business and bringing on local business owners is like you can do anything if you just put your, you grind and you work hard at it.
Put your mind to it.
Put your mind to it. Real estate, window cleaning, exteriors, insurance. I mean, we've had other people on here. It's just like go out and do it. And I respect you, and I like your story for coming on here because you actually, when you were going through school, you were telling us like, hey, you went and started cleaning windows yourself. A lot of people don't want to do the hard work.
Yeah.
You
A lot of people
freaking
want
did it,
the-
dude.
yeah.
Did it.
You did it, bro.
How's that feel?
Man, well, I was just thinking when I was coming into this room, I was like, man, now that I'm on Investor Thrive Nation, I've made it.
You've
Thanks.
made it.
Made it.
I'm at the top right now. I
Dude,
don't
you
know where
have.
else I'm going.
There's not much any higher to go than here.
Thanks for joining us.
No,
Ammon.
next time
for
when you
having
come
me.
on here, you're gonna have a couple rentals. And what I
Yeah.
explained to him is, he wants to find some properties to buy. Now, what are some of the avenues to get rental properties? Everyone knows about an agent. You can get an agent. An agent can look on the MLS, the multiple listing service. It's going to be hard to find a good deal on there, especially here in Utah. It's not going to cash flow that well. A lot of competition. So you're going to have to connect with a wholesaler like me that, fixes and flips any wholesales, and you're going to have to get on a list of ours so we can send you deals. And you can, possibly go in a house and fix it up and then, create that value. Or you're going to have to maybe invest in other states. But if you buy it with the conventional loan, if you get funded by a bank, you can that's one way to do, or you can buy it with hard money and burr out of it. Cash out, refi, and then rent it out. That's the burr method. So you have a lot to do, a lot of options to you, and it sounds like with the money you're making, you're gonna have a lot of money available to reinvest in real estate. So it's exciting.
Yeah, I'm hoping so.
Freaking pumped for you, dude.
Keep it rocking.
And actually, more recently, I went to my landlord because we're renting out a warehouse in American Fork.
Mm-hmm.
I went to him and the guy that built our warehouse. and
Question really quick. Why do you need a warehouse to house the trucks?
House the trucks and
Okay.
all our equipment.
Okay,
Yeah.
got it.
Yeah, and then it's got a nice little office in front too. So
How much do you pay
Makes it
for the
more
warehouse, by the way?
$2,200 a month.
That's not bad for warehouse and office space.
Has room for all of your trucks?
Yeah.
Well,
That's a good deal.
Great.
I
Yeah.
pay $1,500 for two little offices,
nice.
in Lehigh.
I paid
but
$2,100 for
for your spot.
my spot.
Is that with splitting it with that other dude too?
No, well, that's like that's not splitting it. Actually, that is like the total cost. So
Okay.
splitting it's like
How much was it?
we pay $2,100.
Oh,
See, like that's great that he has that. That's awesome.
Yeah, for a warehouse, that's
Yeah, but that being said, though, like
But yes.
those prices are going way up. So I'm talking to these guys about potentially going in on a warehouse complex together and seeing if we can.
See, I don't know much about that, but I'm sure there's
I'm just
demand
now
for
trying
that.
to learn about it. But yeah, it's kind of we found one. We were looking at that that exists currently. It's actually like a 5-unit warehouse complex, and then it has 4 residential properties with it.
And how'd you find that? By just talking?
That was just the MLS, actually.
Oh, was it MLS?
Yeah, but I'm talking to my landlord and the guy that built our building.
Yeah.
And so we've talked about that, building a place. And then it's kind of turned into like a sober living homes. So we're
You
considering
told
that.
me about that. Yeah.
Did I tell you about
Mhm.
it? Yeah. So we walked through a nursing home, an old nursing home that's abandoned now. And we're talking about doing that and filling all 16 rooms.
With the
people.
sober, the people that are
Uh,
trying to get sober and stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. So I don't know. That's an option.
Dang,
yeah,
man.
we're just kind of searching right now to
Isn't it cool
figure out what we're doing.
your financial freedom and the business you've built is enabling you to go into other would you ever think you'd be looking at like warehouses with 3 other dudes like in the past?
No, like I always knew we were gonna buy real estate.
Yeah,
but I thought I'd have like 10 units by now. But
well, start 2022. Let's get it.
Yeah.
50%.
But yeah, I never even really considered commercial until I moved into the warehouse and kind of saw how everything works with the lease and whatnot.
Well, dude, that's awesome. Do you have anything else you wanted to say about that, or?
No, not really. Yeah, I'm just hoping that everyone stays motivated, all 3 of us, and
You will.
that the deal works out.
Yeah, I mean, if you need any of my help, I have connections. If you get if you get the property under contract, and maybe guys don't want to close on it, but you think it's a good deal, I can send it out to a couple of the buyers I know. Maybe we can make a wholesale fee on it.
Okay.
Cool. Like I could bring a buyer, we can make a split. But anyway, I really liked having it on today. Investor Thrive Nation. Learned something from Ammon. He literally went out and did the hard work. You did the hard thing, right? That was like our mission motto: do the hard thing.
Do the hard thing.
And that's the cool thing about us. Like, what I think we've taken for the mission is we went out and did the hard thing. Like, it's not easy, right? Running your business.
Yeah, it's the hardest thing I've ever done.
It's freaking
For
hard.
sure.
Oh yeah.
And my business is hard. Your business is hard, but like, it's totally worth it. And I like that you went out and freaking did it. Like when I started wholesaling, I went knocking doors to find deals. And people
I think we all started knocking doors.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, I knocked doors with you.
Yeah.
When you started out.
We did.
Remember that?
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. So, like,
Yeah.
I think what happens a lot is, like, on these YouTube videos, these TikToks, all these gurus talk about how they made all their money, and it sounds super easy, right?
But you don't see the underlying factor.
No, you don't see that. I was sweating in the heat, handing out flyers, knocking doors, trying to get deals, and you guys too. So, I just want to stress to Investor Thrive Nation that, like, if you're just sitting on your fanny thinking that you're going to get rich or be successful, it's not like that, man. You got to freaking go out there and do it.
You gotta hustle.
You got to hustle.
You gotta hustle.
And you know what crazy? You still got to hustle. Like where we're at, it's just a different hustle. It's not, you're not cleaning windows, but you're hustling to get appointments, make sure your employees get there.
Yeah.
It's never ending. Even if
Yeah,
you get your
seriously.
business automated, you're probably going to try and grind in something else. That's just how we're built.
Yeah. Initially starting off, I thought I was just going to automate it, be done, just go mountain biking, hang out. But yeah, I know it's not going to be that way.
Yeah, you don't want to be stagnant, man. You're going to keep growing.
Yeah, you got to keep growing, brother.
Got to keep growing, brother. Thanks for coming on, Ammon.
Hey, guys.
Thanks for having me.
It's motivating to hear your story because obviously I know you really well, but just talking through and just seeing your growth, it's awesome to see, man. And I know you're always the kind of person that's listening to podcasts or trying to learn new things, getting a business coach. So I just want to say you're a good example, brother.
Yeah, you're a good
All I
example,
wanted
bro.
is your guys' approval.
You got
You
it.
just
bro.
got
That's
it,
all I've
man.
wanted
And you
these
got
last 6
Investor
years.
Thrive's approval.
And the cool thing about this, guys, is we'll come back in a year. We'll see how your business doing. We'll see how our business is doing. We'll see how your business is doing. Let's just keep growing together,
do it.
right, dudes?
Let's
So,
grow.
Investor Thrive
Let's
Nation,
flourish.
go ahead. You were going to say something?
Oh, I was just saying, let's do it.
Let's do it. So, Investor Thrive Nation, thanks
Flourish.
for tuning in. Share this. Again, if you haven't, like and subscribe this channel.
Do it.
Oh, last thing I was going to say. Do you want your contact info or email on here in case people want to learn about growing a window cleaning business like you did? Do you want to, maybe
that's
be
fine.
out there
Yeah,
help people out?
Email is ammon@happyvalleyexteriors.com,
Okay.
or I'm the only Ammon Orchard in history, so you can find me on any social media that way.
So
Every
we'll
Ammon
put your information there because there might be some people might want to reach out to you and be like, "Hey, how'd you do it? Have questions?" I mean, the more people you help, the more success you'll have, in my opinion. Like
What goes around comes around.
What goes around comes around. So, Best Drive Nation, thanks for coming. Ammon, you're the man.
Thanks so much.
Thanks, Jordan, for co-hosting.
Good to be here.
And we'll see you guys later.
Thanks, guys.
Ciao, baby.